Operation Warp Speed is really expediting the creation of a vaccine for the coronavirus. Some of these stocks move really big on some days. How do you position yourself to catch the big winners? This week, we have a sobering story about coming up with a vaccine possibly too fast. Let me know what you think. How do you feel about these companies being fast-tracked to get a vaccine candidate? Let me know in the comments. Now, as I get into our next story about coronavirus stocks, everybody knows that Operation Warp Speed is in full effect, and the government is pushing to help us get a vaccine for coronavirus quick. I need to ask you guys another question. Type this in the chat. What do you feel? How do you feel in regards to fast tracking these companies to a coronavirus vaccine? Are you comfortable or not comfortable? Answer that way. Are you comfortable or not comfortable? Because this next story is kind of important. Think about this. This is a coronavirus update, a stock that has been hitting the news in their trials to get to a vaccine, right? Global death toll edges towards 900,000 as AstraZeneca halts vaccine trial. That's huge. All right, so they're in the forefront of going after a vaccine for coronavirus. They halt trial after patient struck by illness. All right, so that's the reason why I'm asking the question. I know that we're really going hot and heavy after a vaccine so we can help stem off a lot of the illnesses, a lot of the deaths. But you know, in the past, prior to this, there's a process. The FDA takes you through phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, and it takes a long time for a drug to get to the market to go after an illness, right? But right now, we're bypassing a lot of that to get to a vaccine. So I'm curious, are people answering the question? I'm really curious about what you guys think. Are you comfortable or not comfortable? All right, so I could be on either side. I really want the vaccine to be found, but I want to make sure that it's good for you, that it's going to go after the disease. But AstraZeneca, this is a big story. They stop it because a patient got struck by illness. The World Health Organization reiterates its safety-first message for vaccine development and shares of the rival vaccine makers rally. All right, so right now, I think that takes a lot of testicular fortitude for a company like AstraZeneca to come out and say, listen, I know we're fast-tracking, but we want to make sure that you guys are safe as we put these vaccines into your body. That was huge, all right? And they felt the effects. There was consequences for the actions. Our rival vaccine makers rallied. They got hit, all right? So there's a lot of companies that are down here. AstraZeneca, Moderna, which is still one of my favorite, Pfizer, BNT&X, Gilead, HY is Hawaiian Holdings. Not all of these are these are not only U.S. companies. That's why I'm looking at these companies. I'm like, what? That don't make no sense. All right, so that's the story. I think that's a big story. That really is a big story. And so let's go take a look at the stocks that are in my watch list. We have that stock, which is AstraZeneca. All right, so now let's go through valuing this stock or analyzing the stock. So Cool Hand Luke, let's talk about that. The stock is trading at $53.28 with a value of $28.96. The question was, how do we get our valuation? Well, we know that the biggest mover of a stock's price is earnings. So we look at things like earnings per share. We also look at earnings growth rate. Are they growing their earnings as well? And we look at other things according to valuating value. We put other things behind it that's more proprietary that I don't know. But the two main things that I do know, they look at earnings and they look at earnings growth rate. All right, so I'm looking at a value of $28.96. It is what we feel the stock is worth based on our valuation. So we feel that the stock is worth $28 where it's trading at $53. So the stock is currently trading above its value. It's an overvalued stock. Now that means that people are willing to pay a premium to own the stock. Doesn't mean that it's a bad stock. it means that people are willing to pay a premium. Well, why is that? It's a coronavirus stock. So people are jumping on board in anticipation that the company could be one of the leaders in coming up with a vaccine. So it's making it attractive to customers to go and buy it. Thus, the price is going to rise, even though the value says it's at 28. Let's analyze it more. Relative value, one of our core proprietary indicators cast on a scale between 0 and 2. Relative value looks at a stock's long-term upside potential as compared to an alternative investment in a AAA corporate bond. When it's above the value of 1, the stock should outperform that AAA corporate bond over the next 1 to 3 years. Well, long-term, AstraZeneca, is it a stock that I want? Doesn't look like it is because the relative value is at 0.70. The stock does not have good upside potential. The next indicator, relative safety, is an indicator of risk, also on that scale between 0 and 2. We make it kind of simple. If any of our indicators are above the value of 1, it's favorable. If it's below that value of 1, it's unfavorable. So relative safety on AstraZeneca is at 1.09. So it's favorable. It's a relatively safe stock, not a risky stock, but long-term, the stock may not be a stock that I want to hold. The next indicator is relative timing. That looks at the short-term price trend of the stock. Is the stock in an uptrend or not? Relative timing above 1 tells me that the stock's in an uptrend. Relative timing below 1 tells me the stock's in a downtrend. Now, the higher above 1 it is, the faster in an uptrend it is. The more below 1 it is, the faster in a downtrend it is. This is the kind of analysis that helps you make a better decision in the stocks that you buy and sell. And for those people who are not subscribers to the software, this is some of the value that you get for taking the 99-cent trial. 99-cent trial. Now, our master indicator for ranking stocks, value, safety, and timing, that's the VST. It's below 1. It all around, as compared to other stocks in the database, it's not altogether a good stock for value, safety, and timing. They have an earnings of $1.89, but they grow their earnings at a lower clip, at a negative clip of -5. All right, so that's where we stand on AstraZeneca. But if you're looking for a place to find some coronavirus stocks to take advantage of, we have a watch list called Coronavirus Stocks. And you know what we do in our trading room every day? We sort this list by percent price change to find out which coronavirus stocks are moving that day. And we take advantage. How about Codex is up 18% today? What if you caught that move earlier in the morning? Would you be a happy camper today as a trader? Absolutely. Now, the fundamentals and the technicals, these stocks are not altogether that great. Most stocks in this space are not fundamentally sound because they put so much money into research and testing for vaccines and for medicines, and a lot of times they get kicked out. All right, they get kicked back and have to go through it again. So a lot of these are not fundamentally sound. A lot of these will be affected adversely for earnings growth. All right, but if I'm looking and knowing that coronavirus is really hot and heavy in the news right now, I have a watch list of these stocks that I can sort by, and always from a trader's perspective, look at the ones that are moving up the most. If I'm thinking about trying to hold them a little longer, use that relative value indicator to see which ones would be ones I would really want to hold on to long term. All right, any questions, Joey, in regards to this story? I'm going to drink my Cafe Bustelo, the unofficial official coffee of the YouTube channel. No questions. Ask them? Why do you always tell me that every week and I never listen? All right, do you guys have any questions about the story today in regards to coronavirus? Whether it's on the AstraZeneca stock or how to utilize the coronavirus watch list that you guys have access to in the software. That's another thing, folks. If you take a trial to the software, you do get your own coronavirus watch list, all right, that you can actually expand if need be.
Where's your VV mug at, Glenn?
Where's my... Oh, Joey took it, and he won't give me back. It's all Joey's fault. I had a VV mug, and Joey took it, and he never gave it back to me.
You know that Cafe Bustelo is owned by Smuckers?
No, I didn't know it was owned by Smuckers.
I didn't either.
Okay, that's good. That's a good piece of information. I like Smuckers jelly, too. I do like Smuckers jelly. All right.
Lynn told us that.
Oh, there was Lynn? Hey, I haven't seen Lynn in a minute. Lynn, are you still in the jockey club? Oh, Lynn. Are you still in the Jockey Club? I haven't seen you in the Jockey Club lately. All right, and she may not be anymore, and she got on me bad for double dipping. Is that the same Lynn? I'm thinking it might be the same Lynn that got on me bad for double dipping. She really gave it to me. So, did she answer? No? Okay.
Do you guys discuss coming IPOs? Not yet, she said.
Not yet. Not yet what? Okay. Maybe it's a different Lynn, and that's fine.
It's the same one.
Oh, it is the same one. All right. IPOs, I was talking to someone else on this team, and that is something that I might look into. That is something that I might start doing going forward a little bit. I don't know yet. It's something that I'm touching on and looking at IPOs. So I know, Lynn. Thank you, Lynn. I still love it. I just missed you. I'm just saying I missed you. Can you comment on Pfizer? Pfizer is in my list somewhere. I'm sure it is. It's 45 stocks. Let's go up to 50. Let's go. Pfizer's probably in here somewhere. I'm not going to look at a whole bunch of stocks in this list because as a subscriber, how is Pfizer not in here? That's crazy. As a subscriber, I'm walking you through the process of how to analyze these stocks. Where is my doggone Pfizer? Oh, man, I can't. There it goes. PLMNOPH. It's not in here for real? You didn't see it? No, PTSI, PFE. Pfizer should have been. How is that not in the list? That's all Joey's fault, too. That is definitely Joey's fault. All right, Pfizer. I'm going to analyze it real quick. Stock is trading at 35, value of 34. It's what I call fairly valued. Upside potential, not there right now. Safety, not there right now. Timing, not there right now. Positive earnings, but growing at a negative clip. If I right-click and view the stock graph, and this is the reason why I'm not going to talk about a lot of the stocks that are in this list. You can look. Pfizer's not the place to be. That's it in a nutshell. The stock is in a downtrend. RT is below 1. Volume's falling. Stock is falling. I'm using a 3 and 8 exponential moving average. I'm not feeling Pfizer at all.
Yeah.